I know I'm currently dressed like I'm on the audition for The Bachelor, but I wasn't hot growing up. You seem so... I was still a slut. I wasn't hot, I was still motivated. I tell people that and they assume I either had a great personality or I was very popular. I was a theater kid, a horse girl, I did improv. That's the trifecta of annoying. Other kids got their yearbooks, people would write, "Have a great summer, never change." I got my yearbook, people would write, "Have a great summer, shut the fuck up." And I've never forgiven my math teacher for that. Not being hot growing up, but still being a slut means I put out, but just for the debate team. Losing my virginity was searing pain and staring at a perfectly constructed Lego Star Wars Death Star. And I stayed with that guy for 2 years after that. I was like, yeah, this sex is bad, but clearly he's good with his hands and loves to follow directions. Now I know I'm hot. I'm not confident. I know I'm hot because I'm bisexual, Latina, and I've seen the Pornhub trending page. The numbers are on my side. I'm Latina, yes, that is how I say it. People are surprised when I tell them because I am Latina, but I look like the kind of Latina a Republican would nominate for vice president. You know, like I don't look like I speak Spanish, I look like I call Border Patrol on my cousins. You know some do. I do speak Spanish. I spoke Spanish at home growing up. I also went to a French magnet elementary school. And the way that would work was in the morning we would take all of our classes in English, and then in the afternoon we would smoke cigarettes and wear little hats. I think my ethnic background's pretty obvious. My mom's Cuban, my dad's lucky. I know I don't necessarily look very Hispanic. I'm very proud to be. Thank you. Yeah. Recently, a woman stopped me in the street to ask me for directions in Spanish. It like made my week, you know? Like, not only did she think I looked Latina, she thought I looked like I knew where I was going. I didn't, that bitch is lost. Oh man. I've been living in New York for the last few years. I am originally from Miami. Cocaine addict, cocaine addict, cocaine addict. I think it's a different vibe growing up in New York versus growing up in Miami, right? Yeah. Like all my friends who grew up in New York, their big cultural influences growing up were like the Met, the American Ballet Theater. My cultural influences growing up were Pitbull and fetal alcohol syndrome. When I started going to parties in high school, my parents sat me down and they were like, "Catherine, we just want you to know, sometimes when people drink too much in front of others, they can embarrass themselves publicly." And then they gave me a fifth of vodka and told me to go drink alone like a goddamn adult. My drinking's gotten a lot better. I can do way more now. When I was in college, I used to like to get blackout drunk, text everyone I wanted to sleep with, even a little bit, that I wanted to sleep with them, and then delete the texts from myself. Everyone on campus knew who I wanted to sleep with except for me. I was like the male lead in an 8th grade musical. I am bisexual. I should have known I was bisexual a lot younger. My first ever sex dream was a threesome with Princess Jasmine and Jafar. Other little girls wanted to play Disney Princess Dress Up. I wanted to play Disney Princess Dress Off. As a bisexual woman, a threesome with Jasmine and Jafar still reflects my love life. Every woman I date, beautiful, kind, great singing voice. Every man I date, villain with facial hair. I date all genders. I think that's regressive. I date all genders. I was actually recently dumped. I was dumped by a non-binary bisexual person. We were together for a long time. I was completely blindsided by the breakup. I was like, since when do you make decisions? I'm not great at dating in general. The last few people I had been with before them were a director, an actor, another director. If talent were sexually transmitted, I'd have an EGOT. And chlamydia. No. These guys are great, all really committed to their craft, cheating. I've been watching a lot more porn since the breakup. I don't understand OnlyFans. We're all familiar? Yeah? Right. It's a website where you can pay to have a more personalized experience watching porn. I think the economy sucks. I don't think we can call it a recession if there's a market for artisanal porn. You know, like, here's the thing. I feel about paying for porn the same way I feel about putting money into the collection plate at church. I can give $1 all I want. That doesn't make it real. If anything, giving money to the church is a sounder financial decision. The priest might touch you. I think we all have a lot of shame around our sexuality. I developed mine pretty young because I was an early bloomer, but I was also a huge nerd. So my two favorite things were boobs and books with maps in them. I didn't watch porn, I read erotic Harry Potter fan fiction. And I would have never guessed what part of that sentence could get me in trouble now. I'm so grateful I was never caught. Can you imagine that conversation? I feel like being a parent who's worried that your kid's watching porn and then finding out that they're reading Harry Potter erotica is like being a parent worried your kid wants to be an actor and discovering they want to be a knight at medieval times. My dad's on the phone with my mom like, well, I spoke to Catherine. Is it worse than we thought? It's more specific. Also, I don't think she has any friends. All